In last video, we have seen those arithmetic relational and logical operator, and let us move into the next one. That is, we already have seen assignment operator, right? So let us see how assignment operator works. So let's say if I need to declare something, I will declare like say int num equal to 5. Okay, so now this is an assignment operator which is going to set this value to this variable, right? So now the thing is, let's say I have two numbers. Say it is int num1 equal to 10. It is okay. Now I need to add and print two numbers. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a result variable and I'm going to add num plus num1. It is right, and I'm trying to print. I'm trying to printf. It is the value which is in a result variable, right? So now the thing is, if I try to run this program, okay, if I try to run this program, let's say I'm using GCC and it is test.c is my program and I'm trying to run a.exe. So it is going to print me 15, right? So hopefully it will print 15. Yes, it is printing 15. Okay, now it is not mandatory that we need to add two variables. We can add a number with variable, right? Let's say I'm going to add num with 50. It is, sorry, num with 10 it is, right? Right. So now the thing is, it is going to give you the same answer, right? Let me compile and let me try to run the file again. It is going to give 15 again, right? So now in this line, you can see that we have assignment operator and also arithmetic operator in the same line. And it is going to execute arithmetic operator first and it is going to execute assignment operator next, right? So now let's say there is no, I'm not going to use this variable num afterwards. So there is, if it is the case, if I'm not going to use the variable num again, then why I need to create a new variable to store that? I can create the same, I can store the value in the same variable, right? Say it is num equal to num plus 10 and I'm going to print num. Why I need to print result if I'm not going to use num again? Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this value in num variable, right? So if I try to run this, it is going to give you the same value. As I said, arithmetic operator is going to be executed first and assignment operator is going to be executed next and it is going to print 15, right? So now in this line, we have used this variable twice, right? Instead of this, we can use an arithmetic operator with an assignment operator where we will call it as shorthand operator. It is a part of assignment operator. It is also going to give you the same value here. If I try to execute this, it is going to give you the same value 15, right? So the combination of arithmetic operator with assignment operator is called a shorthand operator and it will come under the category of assignment operator. Say it is plus equal to, minus equal to, and we have multiplication equal to, division equal to, and we have modulus equal to. So these are shorthand operators what we have, and you know how it works, right? So I have explained you with arithmetic operator and you know how the remaining operators work, right? So these are assignment operators what we have. And next one what we have was increment or decrement operator. And increment and decrement operator, let's say if I need to add 1 to this variable, okay, if I need to add 1 to this variable, so anyway, it is going to increase num by 1, right? It is going to increase num by 1. It is going to print 6, right? So instead of having num by 1, I can say it is num plus plus. It is also going to increase the value by 1, right? Let me compile and let me execute this again. It is going to print 6, right? It is going to increase the value by 1. It is going to do the operation what that plus equal to has done, right? So this operator is called as increment operator, right? And there is two different operators. Let's say I'm having this increment operator here. Okay. I'm trying to print num plus plus. It is post increment. I'm using increment after a number, right? So it is post increment. And I have one more increment operator. Say it is pre-increment it is. Okay. I have pre-increment operator, right? So now if I try to run this, what will be the output you will get? So just pause the video and try to enter the output in the comment. What will be the output you will get? Yes. So let us try to run this. Okay, let us try to run this. You can see we are going to get an output. It is 5 and 7. So this post increment will be executed once the operation is completed. Okay, it is going to print 5 and then it is going to increase it to 6. And pre-increment is different. It is going to increase the 6 by 1 and then it is going to print. So we are getting 7 here. Hope you understood how post and pre-increment works. And we have minus minus, which is decrement. Like increment, we have another one, which is decrement, right? So it is minus minus. So anyway, as I said, post is going to print. Post is going to execute it. That is, it is going to increase the value after operation completed. So it is going to print 5 and it is going to decrease by 4. And then pre-increment is going to decrease the value to 3 and it is going to print 3. So now you are getting 5, 3 here. Hope you understood how post and pre-increment works. Post increment, pre-increment and decrement works. Right? So let us move into the, yes. So we have seen another one operator type, which is fifth one, which is increment and decrement operator. Okay, which is here it is plus plus and minus minus. Okay, so let us move into the next one, which is bitwise operator. Okay, I'm not going to explain much into this bitwise operator. I will give you a simple terms it is. So in bitwise operator, we have bitwise and bitwise or, and we have something called as XOR, and we have something called as a left shift, and we have something called as a right shift, and we have not operator here. Okay. So anyway, this not operator is going to give you a complement. It is a unary operator. Okay. It is going to give you the two's complement of a number. Okay. Let us see the remaining 5, how it works. So we know it is bitwise operator, right? So anyway, if it is bitwise operator, it is going to convert your number into a binary digit and it is going to work on binary digits. Okay, let's say if I am saying it is num equal to 2 and in num1 equal to, sorry, num equal to 5 and num1 equal to 2. And if I try to print num and num1, okay, we can see that it is going to give you a different answer which you haven't imagined. Okay, you can see when I try to run this, it is going to give something around 0 it is. Okay, because by the way, it is going to convert this 5 into 101, right? It is going to convert 5 into 101 and it is going to convert 2 into 010. Okay. Now it is going to do this AND operation between these digits. So it is 1 and 0, 0 and 1, 1 and 0, where you are going to get 0 as an answer. Okay. So let me try it with R. Now, when it is R is also going to be a bitwise operator. It is going to convert your number into binary number. But here it is 1 or 0, 0 or 1, 1 or 0 is going to give you an output 7 it is. Hope you are going to get 7. So I'm trying to run this. So I compile this and I'm trying to execute this. I'm going to get 0 and next one it is 7. Hope you understood, right? And we have one more thing, which is XOR operator. Okay. XOR operator is something different. It is, well, let's say XOR operator is something different. Okay. So XOR operator is going to give you true when both the values are different. Okay. So let's say instead of this one, I have 7 here. Okay. If it is 7, then it is going to be like this, right? So now XOR operator is going to compare 1 with 0 and it is different. So it is going to give true. And it is going to compare 1 with 1. It is same, right? It is true with true. So it is going to give false. And again, it is 1, 0. It is going to give true. So you are going to get 1, 0, 1. That is 5 when you are using XOR operator. Let us try to compile and let us try to run. You are going to get 075 with this. Sorry, it is getting 275 because yes, it is absolutely, it is going to give 2, right? Because anyway, we are using AND operator, right? Hope you understood how it works. Okay, there is something called as left shift operator. Okay. there is something called as left shift operator. Okay, this left shift operator is going to add a digit. It is going to add a digit to left side of your number. Okay, add a binary digit to left side of your number. How many digits it is going to add? It is based on the second operand. It is, let's say we are having 111 here, and it is going to add two more digits to the left side. So it is going to add 00. Okay, so you are going to get a number, yep, a number which is of triple one zero, the decimal value of triple one double zero. It is going to be like 2 to the power of 0 to the power of 1. It is 4, 8, and 16. It is going to be 16, 8, 24, 28, I think. So if I try to run, I'm compiling it and I'm executing it. I'm going to get 28 when I'm using, you see, I'm getting 28. Okay. So there is something called as right shift operator. Right shift operator is going to remove a number. Okay, it is going to remove a number. So when it is triple one, it is going to remove two digits now because num1 is 2, right? So it is going to remove two digits and it is going to give you 1. Hope you understood how left shift and right shift works. Okay. Let us see some programs using this bitwise operators in our next videos. For now, let us understand what is bitwise and how it works and what is the output from bitwise operator. Okay. Let us move into the next one. Okay. So we have seen bitwise operators and we have next one, which is conditional operator, or we can say it as ternary operator. So we said that we have seen the operators as unary, ternary, and binary, right? That is, unary is operator working with one operand, ternary is operator working with three operand, and binary is operator working with two operand. So here we have next one, which is ternary operator, or we can say it as conditional operator. Okay, conditional operator. So it is conditional operator. Okay. So we have question mark and colon there as ternary or conditional operator. Let's say if I need to check a number whether it is right, if I need to check a number whether it is even or odd. Okay, so let me comment it out. So let me define a number. Okay, let me define a number int num equal to 10, and I need to check whether it is even or odd. Okay, I need to check whether it is even or odd. Then I'm going to use if condition because I didn't thought you if till now, but let's say I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to check if a number modulus when a number is divisible by 2 and its remainder is 0, then it is an even number, right? So I need to print it is even. Else I need to print. So else I need to print it as odd, right? So if I try to run this code, it is going to print you even. Hope it will print even. Right? Because 10 is an even number, it is going to print even. Okay. So instead of using this, when you have one condition and you have two options to execute, now you can use ternary operator. Okay. So we can give the condition as input. Let's say our condition is num modulus 2 equal to 0, which is an input. And we are going to check that condition using question mark. If this condition is true, it is giving 1, then it is going to execute the first operation. So I'm just going to use printf and I'm going to print even here. Okay. And if it is false, then I'm going to give a colon. And for false, I'm going to give in another option and it is going to print it is odd. Right. So if I try to execute this, I'm going to get the same answer. It is even, but instead of writing 5 lines using if, I have done it in a single line. Hope you understood how this ternary operator works. Okay, we will see some other programs in ternary operator in our other classes. For now, let us move into the some other operators. There is special operators for C programmers. Okay, so we have something called as special operators in C. It is okay. So the first special operator what we are going to see is sizeof operator it is. Okay. So there is something called a size of operator. Okay. So let me try to define. I have defined the num10 here, right? So I need to know the size because when we have seen this data type, we have seen that the data type is going to carry a size, right? It is in bytes. So int is going to carry 4 bytes and float is going to carry 4 bytes. Double is going to carry 8 bytes like that we have seen. Now, if I need to know the size of your variable, then we can use, let's say I'm going to have printf and anyway size is going to be in decimal number, that is in integer number, and I'm going to pass size of our variable what we have is num, right? So I'm trying to print this one. So if I try to run this, automatically it is an integer variable. So it is going to carry 4 byte size, right? It is going to carry 4 byte size. Yes, so it is going to print you the size of variable address. Okay, so we have one more operator in special operator case. It is comma. So comma is an operator here. So let's say if I'm defining a value, okay. So we will say comma as separator. So it is going to separate, or it is going to be used in an expression to separate the values. Let's say I'm having 10, 11, sorry, it is comma 11, comma 12, comma 13. Let's say this comma is going to used as separator and it is going to assign the last value to the variable. Okay, so let me try to print. I am trying to print the value in the variable it is. Okay, I'm trying to print the value in the variable and it is going to print 13. Hope everything was fine. I see this 4 is size and 13, let's say I'm just using a backslash n here because it is going to give you a clear view, right? So it is going to print 4 and 13 it is. So 13 is the last value which is separated. Okay, so we have another one operator which is ampersand operator, that is we will say it as address of operator, right? So this operator used to get the address of a variable, right? So let's say if I need to know the address of number, okay, anyway we are going to store, we will have a variable called as pointer where we can store address. So if I need to print the pointer, then I'm going to use %p, it is format specifier, and I'm going to pass address of number here, right? So if I try to run this code, let me use an \n. Okay, so address of n is going to print address of this variable n it is. It is going to be a hexadecimal number. Okay, and we have one more thing which is value of operator, that is star. Okay, so value of operator is going to give you the value from an address. Okay, let's say I'm creating an address here, so I'm going to create a pointer variable. So let's say pointer p equal to ampersand of num. I have stored the address in this p, and now I need to print the variable in num. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use printf, and anyway the value in the address of num is going to be an integer, so I'm using %d, and I'm trying to pass the value of pointer here, right? So it is going to give you the same 13. Okay, but here we are getting the 13 through a variable. Here we are getting the 13 through a pointer. So hope you got how it works, right? So it is going to print 4, 13 address, and it is 13 because after address I have not used \n. Hope it will, you got it, got the point, right? So this is how the operators works in C program. Okay, so let us move into the next one in our next video. For now, this is all the operators, types of operators in C program and how we can use all these operators. Okay, so in next video we will see how we can work with conditional and looping statements.